Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hey, Gabriel, good morning. Welcome. Hey, how's it going, guys? How was your week? Was it good? Yes.
Yeah, normal.
All right. Okay. Very good. Busy? Have you been doing a lot of things?
A couple,
Oh,
like
that's
work and college.
that's nice. What do you do for work, Kathleen? I don't know if I asked you before, but
I work with HR. I don't know if that's correct, but I think I'm a young learner.
oh, I see. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's
Like you're like a trainee.
yes.
Oh, I see. Oh, how nice. So you work with human resources.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. How nice. And is that what you're majoring in at college? You told me you're doing languages, right?
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I'm actually doing English.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How nice. And do you want to follow any career in HR? Do you want to apply languages in that career? Because human resources is something really strong. It's growing a lot. So,
Yeah, I mean, I like working there like right now, but I don't think I want to make a career.
oh, I see. Okay. All right. It's interesting anyway. Yes, the prospects of a career in human resources are really good.
Yes, and it's my first job, so it's really nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Kathleen. Very good. All right. Hey, Nathan. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome. Hey, Brendan. Good morning. Everybody here has a cold. Okay, guys. So I'm sorry if you hear some coughing in the background. Everybody has a cold here in the house. So we haven't done any testing yet, but we will do for sure because there are some suspicions, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, everybody's coughing. I have some coughing sometimes, but my mother is the worst. She's been coughing a lot all night long. Last night I could barely sleep, and it's been going on now for 2 days. So that's why I tell you guys, protect yourselves. Really, protect yourselves because what seems like a cold, a common cold, can be something else. Okay, so we are isolated in the house. We can't go out because we don't know what it is. But everybody has the symptoms. I mean, everybody, really. Okay. And it was because of only one person who got in touch with one other person outside and brought the cold in. It may be or not, we don't know, but just it just takes one person to be in touch with the virus. We don't know. I can't tell you, oh, it's the virus. It may just be a cold, right? But it just takes one person, and then that's what happens. Okay, guys. Hey, good morning, Carlos. Good to see you. Good morning. Oh, welcome. All right, people. So if you hear some coughing in the background, you know what's going on. Okay. Hey, good to see you. All right. So I excuse myself for that. but everybody here in the house is coughing a lot, coughing and sneezing a lot. Okay, so sorry for that, people. All right, so as you can see today, I hope you can see our page. Today is our review. Yay, we finally got to our review. So this is our review for progress task 2. So the topic for that is going to be units 7 to 12. Yes, it's the final part. All right, we've already done the progress check. I mean the progress stop and check. Sorry, the stop and check number 3, which was from unit 7 to 9. So we've got a very nice coverage of those 3 units, but it's okay. We can do a review of that in a superficial way, but we can review that again. No problem, right? I posted here the topics of all the units. Also, to help you guys think of a project, something that you can prepare. All right. Remember, I'm not picky. I'm really not picky about projects. You know that. Okay, people. So you can present something simple. What I need to have from you is your voice. I need to listen to you speaking, showing something oral from one of the units or more than one if you wish. Okay, you can get some samples of a unit that you feel more comfortable with, and then you can just say some sentences. If you want to add an image or an illustration, suit yourself. Okay, if you can prepare a presentation, if you can prepare a PowerPoint, that's okay. If it's not possible, you can just type a text on a Word document or even on any kind of document that is available to you on your cell phone, and you can read from that document. Okay, guys, I just want to have something oral from you. The project is nothing more than listening from the student. I need to hear you. I need to have an oral sample from your production. Okay, an oral sample so that I can evaluate your English. Okay, guys, this is what the project is. And in this case here, I need to have a sample from this part of the book, from 7 to 12. And then you can just choose the topic. All right, people. So no reason to worry about. Okay, before we start, I picked a short video to show you some examples of topics that we discussed during the final part of our book, Headway 4. And there is also another important thing I'd like to talk about. Our coordinator, Julia, she told me that the students who are willing to do Headway 5, they will not be able to do it on Saturday at this time. I don't know why, but she just told me that I should pass it on to you, that I don't know, this time, Saturday 10:30, will not be available to you anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it's going to be some other day or some other time. How many of you guys are willing to do Headway 5? Anyone? Don't worry, it doesn't mean it's going to be with me, okay? I just want to know because Julia asked me to ask you, okay? It will for sure be with another teacher, maybe some other time, another day, because she told me that it won't be Saturday 10:30. Brandon, and Headway 5 by, guys, sorry, by the way, is the last book, okay? It's the last level. It corresponds to C1, okay? According to the Common European Framework, Headway 5 is level C1 in the Common European Framework, okay? So is anybody here thinking of doing Headway 5?
Not right now.
Okay, all right. So the other ones are silent, so probably not thinking, okay? So until, or by the end of the class, if you are thinking of doing Headway 5, send me a message. Okay, guys. Yeah, send me a message via WhatsApp or here during the class. Try to find out, because we need to tell the coordination. Okay, we need to give them this feedback. All right. And so that you know, in case they have a number of students willing to do Headway 5, it will not be Saturday 10:30. Okay. So this is what Julia told me to tell you. Okay, guys. All right. So message given. Now, people, back to our review. I will share with you this video that will give you some examples of things that we've learned in this final part. Okay, so let's take a look there. Before we go, let me just record our attendance here, just a moment. What's the weather like in Campo Grande now, guys, or in your neck of the woods? I don't know where you guys live. Here it's a little hot. It's kind of blowy now, but it's hot and sunny.
In Campo Grande, it's sunny there.
Yeah, and it must be hot, because usually in Campo Grande it's hot.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot here too. So today it's August 21st, people. Can you believe this? So fast. Wow. All right, let's see. First of all, people, do you know this girl? Do you know who she is? Yes. If you said Simone Biles, exactly. Yeah, that's her. So she's a gymnast. In gymnastics, they need to follow very strict rules, all right? To become a good gymnast, they need to practice and work really, really hard. Yes, all their lives, from the beginning, like from their early years. And I don't know, sometimes they start at 4 or 5, yeah, very young. And here in this video, they will talk about the hardships of a gymnast, okay, and all the things that they are subject to in order to become a good athlete, all right? And notice in their language some of the things that we talked about in these units, from unit 7 to unit 12, okay? I will try to put the subtitles on to you here, but don't trust on the subtitles because they usually have a lot of mistakes, okay? Can you see the screen? Yes. Good.
You have to have a certain body type to be a gymnast. Back in the day, everybody had a more like slim body and was really flexible and skinny, but now you can be a little bit shorter and more powerful like me.
Gymnastics isn't as easy as it looks. It's the talent of professional athletes that make it seem like the easiest profession in the world. As we all know, gymnastics is one of the toughest sports in the world, and the athletes who specialize in this particular type of sport are extremely talented. Gymnasts are expected to perform flawlessly, especially at the Olympic Games. To make it even more difficult, they have to follow strict rules. We thought we'd take a closer look at these strict rules they have to follow. Enjoy the video. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. The rules of gymnastics. Undisciplined behavior. Judges may deduct fractions of a point for undisciplined behavior by a competitor or their coach. There may be a deduction for competing out of designated order. Basically, the judges can deduct points for anything deemed negative catching their eye. Even when gymnasts perform their routines out of order, they could be penalized. Gymnasts must stay in the arena. A gymnast may not leave the arena during competition. If you leave the arena, even for a toilet break, you could be penalized. Olympic gymnasts must stay away from performing illegal moves. There are certain moves in gymnastics that are banned, and performing one during a routine can mean big trouble, usually because they're considered to be too dangerous. That's why competitors need to stay away from moves like the Thomas Salto, which left Elena Mukina quadriplegic when she landed on her chin before the Moscow Olympics in 1980. They also have to avoid the Korbut flip, which was performed many times by Olga Korbut, including at the 1972 Olympics. The skill is executed by standing on the high bar facing the low bar, jumping backward into the air, doing a backflip, re-grabbing the bar, and ultimately swinging towards the low bar, according to flow gymnastics. While traditionally done on bars, the Korbut flip also had a beam variation done by completing a back handspring with a high flight in the beginning, then swinging down to a straddle position on the beam. In 2016, Olympic gymnast Deepa Karmakar talked to BBC News about attempting another extreme move, the Protonova, which 17 explains meant that she rotated 900 degrees or 2.5 flips, just barely spinning fast enough to land safely on her feet. The stunt is so terrifying that only a handful of athletes have ever attempted it. Karmakar even admitted, "One wrong move and I could die on the spot." Meanwhile, Simone Biles stays away from banned moves altogether, telling Vogue's 73 Questions it's illegal, so I've never tried one. A gymnast routine obviously needs to impress the judges if the athlete wants to walk away with a medal, especially at the Olympic level, and that won't happen if the experts handing out points already know what's about to happen. Not to mention the fact that it would be disastrous if another competitor stole a few key moves. Have you seen the chaotic, if fictional, circumstances that occur in Bring It On, when routines are stolen and duplicated? That's why gymnasts are expected to keep their routines a highly guarded secret. Those who break their silence not only risk losing the competition, they're also breaking an established rule. The International Gymnastics Federation, the worldwide governing body for the sport of gymnastics, addresses the tight-lipped nature of training in the FIG Code of Conduct, which all gymnasts are meant to follow. It states that competitors are expected to respect the confidentiality of information between athletes and coaches. Need proof of this? When gymnastics superstar Simone Biles took a camera along to her Olympic training center in order to do a 73 Questions interview with Vogue in 2016, she was asked if she keeps her routines a secret before a meet and responded with a simple yes. When the interviewer asked her if they could stick around to watch Biles' routine, she turned him down, stating nope, because it's a secret. Olympic gymnasts have to be groomed correctly. There's a reason why Olympic gymnasts always look pristinely put together when they're competing. According to Vogue, the official USA Gymnastics rulebook deems that women gymnasts must be well-groomed in their appearance, noting that the bevy of regulations walk the line between preference and precaution. Vogue explains that spectators see a parade of tight braids, buns, and ponytails, for example, because hair has to be pulled away from the face lest it obstruct views of an apparatus necessary for spotting precarious landings, although there's no quantitative limit spelled out on bobby pins and elastic bands. brands. As for jewelry, competitors are only allowed to wear a single pair of stud earrings. You can only wear earrings, nothing else, Olympic gold medalist Natasha Luakin explained to People. It's not allowed, but also you don't want to get in the way of anything that you're doing. Like when you're on the uneven bars, you can't be wearing a ring because you just can't. When it comes to nails, Luakin said, it depends on what your head coach likes and what they don't like. I'm pretty sure USA head coach Marta Carololi prefers us not to really have a bright red or bright blue or pink or purple. I think something subtle was always good. I always had like a light pink on my toenails and then nothing really on my nails. Nailed it. Their leotards have to be approved. Olympians are free to express their personal style in their daily lives, but when they're competing, gymnasts have to wear outfits that follow specific guidelines and are approved by their coaches. Leotards, which have some part in lace, will have to be lined in the area of the trunk, according to USA Gymnastics, while the neckline of the front and back of the leotard must be proper, no more than half of the sternum, no more than that at the lower line of the shoulder blades. Meanwhile, dance leotards with narrow straps are not allowed. The website also stipulates that the cut of the leotard at the top of the legs must not go beyond the fold of the crotch, and that it's considered to be inappropriate for leotards to give the appearance of excessive nudity. If you've ever wondered why each member of a gymnastics team is dressed the same, the rules state that leotards for group gymnasts must be identical in shape and color. For her part, Natasha Luakin told People, before every competition we do a little fashion show in the hotel or the Olympic Village, and it's with Coach Marta and all of our coaches. We all have to try on the same leotard and we march down the hallways as if it's a runway. That's how we figure out which leotard we're wearing for the team competition. While the leotards are certainly snazzy, they're also incredibly regulated. They can't fix a wedgie while competing. Along with not being able to expose their underwear, Olympic gymnasts can't fix their wedgies if one happens to occur. This is another time when the perfectly designed leotards are helpful. The athletes have such extreme body types that there is no way we could just cut a standard pattern, Kelly McKinnon told Cosmopolitan. That's why each leotard is custom made to fit the athlete's body, which prevents it from shifting, sometimes inappropriately exposing body parts. When the gymnasts perform their body manipulating moves, for example, Simone Biles is incredibly muscular, but she's a mighty little package, so she has big shoulders and very little hips, so literally every part of her leotard is custom. Natasha told People, you're not allowed to pick a wedgie or else you get deducted. So a lot of people use like sticky spray called Tough Skin for your butt so your leotard doesn't move. I've never used it, and I know most of the girls don't really use it, but if you have a fall and your leotard goes up your butt, you don't want to fix it in the middle of your routine. Off to the side, it's totally fine. Next time you get to an inconvenient wedgie, imagine what it must be like to experience one while competing for an Olympic medal. Safety. A coach is obliged to put their gymnast safety first. Gymnasts and coaches should not interfere with another competitor's safety either. Interfering with another gymnast in any way may be construed as interference with their safety. Skill levels. Generally, a gymnast must compete in the same skill level for all activities in a given competition. In other words, they cannot switch skill levels during a competition. Athletes have the right to be coached by individuals who are knowledgeable and have received appropriate training, and be properly prepared for participation by those in positions of authority, including coaches, club owners, and administrators, while being able to question or report improper behavior or violations of the Safe Sport Code, including of coaches or club owners, and without fear that doing so will negatively impact their participation or success. All athletes, and particularly minor athletes, are entitled to have their parents observe, coach, athlete interactions. Second attempts. Only one attempt is generally allowed for each apparatus, unless an interruption occurs that is not the gymnast's fault. Women's vault has occasional exceptions, when 2 attempts are allowed. If a gymnast's grip tears during his routine, he may repeat it in certain circumstances. Spotters. Spotters are typically allowed to stand near the rings, bar, or mat and can only intervene to prevent accidents. Fractions of a point may be deducted if a spotter intervenes, depending on competition level. Sometimes a spotter is permitted to help a gymnast into their starting position for events like the rings. Scoring. A judge panel usually scores gymnastics competitions. To Depending on the level and league, there may be some judges, usually 2, measuring routine difficulty, while perhaps 6 or more evaluate performance and execution. Judges evaluate routines on a 10-point scale. Fractions of a point are taking off or falling off an apparatus and other errors. For each apparatus, points are capped at the number of a team's gymnasts multiplied by 10. That's the end of the video for today. What do you think of the rules? Feel free to leave a comment. Until we meet again, stay safe.
Wow, guys, they have a lot of rules to follow, don't they? Hey, Yago, good morning.
Hello everybody.
Hi, welcome. Good to see you. So, did you notice that, guys? Did you see? Hi, Danilo. Good morning. Welcome. Hi, Stair. Good morning. Good to see you.
Hi,
So,
teacher. Good morning.
good morning. So, guys, did you see how many things they need to abide? They have to really follow a lot of strict rules. Besides all the preparation, all right? Did you notice in the language how many examples we found of the things we learned in the second part of the book? Can you give me some examples from the video? What were the things we found there? Let's try to open here from the files we posted on Google Classroom, the topics from the units that we've seen. In Unit 7, we saw modals and related verbs. Have we seen examples of modals and related verbs in the video? Yes, a lot. Yes, especially because the video talked about rules gymnasts need to follow, right? So they used modals all the time. Athletes are not allowed to many times, right? So, did you see what they talked about? The apparatus, the things that they only have one chance, so they can't make mistakes. Many things, right? We also saw hot verb get in Unit 7. So we saw some examples of get as well, right? So now moving on to Unit 8, what did we learn there? So Unit 8 talked about relative clauses, participles, and adverb collocations. So did you see examples of those in the video? Yes, sure. We saw a lot of adverb collocations. Yeah, that's true. They used a lot of adverbs, right? Especially when they had to talk about the difficulties and when they mentioned the leotards. The leotards, guys, are what the athletes need to wear to perform. Yes, when they have to do a wedgie. Did you get that part when they have to fix the leotard if they move? Did you see that they have to put something like a spray? It's like a glue that some of them wear those, but not all of them. Moni Biles, for example, she doesn't wear that kind of spray to avoid moving. Doesn't need that because she's very muscular. But some athletes, they have to apply that spray so the leotard doesn't move. And then she has to to fix it during the performance. So if an athlete happens to wedgie the leotard, they get deducted. So the leotard can't move. Yes. Very strict. And during a performance, or even when the athlete is just waiting in the arena, They can't go to the toilet, for example, if they need to. Yes, they have to stay there. Uh-huh. There's no thing like, oh, I need to go. Can I just go for a few seconds? No, you can't. Okay, so yeah, it's really hard. Oh, guys, I'm really sorry. Told I told the students at the beginning of the class, everybody here has a cold here in the house. So if you hear some coughing, please excuse us because everybody in the house has a cold. So there's a lot of coughing in the background. So if you hear some coughing, sneezing, so excuse us because everybody here has a cold, including me. I'm a little better today, but yesterday I was really bad. We are going to get tested, of course, but everybody has a cold. Okay, guys. So yeah, there's a lot of coughing around. 2 sleepless nights because of excessive coughing. Right, especially on the mother's side, has been coughing a lot. So if you get that sound, excuse me. Okay, guys, it was just a small slip. One person just had a contact with someone, I don't know, who had a cold and then brought the virus in. We don't know exactly if that is the virus, but everybody has a cold, okay, here. So, sorry about the background noises, okay, guys. Now, in Unit 9, what do we get here? What did we learn? We talked about expressing habit, used to do, or be used to doing. Can you see that, people? Yeah? Great. So in the video, they didn't talk much about habits in the past because they were talking about rules, but they talked about some gymnasts in the past because gymnasts in the past, yes, go ahead, Danilo.
Eu não sei se é só pra mim, mas tá meio que chiando um pouco.
Também tô
No seu áudio.
escutando.
The audio.
Yes.
Let me see. Let me try to fix here. Just a second. Just a moment. Just a second. Wait a minute. Yes, to me, the audio seems okay. Is it better now?
No. It's like we can hear you normally, but it has a fluid
Oh, okay.
all
Kind
the
of
time.
a kind of interference. Oh yeah, it's funny because there's nothing on here. There's no machine, nothing on. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know what it is, really. Because nothing is on. There's just some coughing around sometimes, people coughing. Just a moment. Okay, So is it better now?
Oh, we can hear the ruído. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Sim, escutar você dá.
Yes? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is really. I'll have to check. Maybe it's the speaker, the microphone from the headset, or this thing that I'm using. Probably I have to change it. Maybe this is what it is. Okay, guys. So I'll change it. Okay, I'll make sure I'll change it today. I'll try to get a new one. Probably this is it because the computer is okay. Nothing is on. There's no machine on. Maybe it's this thing here that I'm using. You know, this earplug here. Yeah. Because until yesterday it was working all right. There was nothing wrong. Okay. So okay. So I will try to go on, and if it gets too loud, you let me know, because I don't have, I'll try to find another one here after the break. I'll try to get another one, okay? All right, so then in Unit 9, we talked about habits in the past, okay? Used to do and be used to doing, and we saw that some gymnasts in the past, they used to do some dangerous moves and they got penalized because of it, right? Unfortunately. And some of them, they got really hurt. That's why, those moves, they are forbidden. They can't be performed now. Athletes can't do them now because they are risky. Okay? Athletes can get seriously hurt. In Unit 10, we learned about modal auxiliary verbs in the past, synonyms, metaphors, and idioms. And here we have an example, right? Remember, in Unit 10, we talked about mysteries, we talked about the Vikings. Okay, so we will see each unit, the vocabulary and the grammar. Okay, guys. Unit 11 was about hypothetical situations, right? So we saw I wish, if only, right? We also saw expressions with if, conditional sentences, and we saw word pairs, like take it or leave it, remember? Okay. So here in the video, there were some expressions with if, right? Example, if an athlete makes a mistake, for example, he gets penalized, he or she gets penalized, okay? And finally, Unit 12 talks about time, okay? And the main topics were articles, determiners, and the hop words life and time. Okay. All right, people. Great. So let's take a look at this file here, where we have very short activities about the units. So let's take a look at it. Sorry, guys. So this one here is about this is about Unit 7, okay, where we saw hot verbs get. So let's remember those phrasal verbs we can use with get. After we do this part of the review, we are going to play a game. So let's test our knowledge, all right? Can you see the page? Yes, everybody? Can you see that?
Yes.
Great, awesome. All right, people. So the first one I'd like to do together with you, right? But the other ones I'd like you to do on your own. So let's take a look at the first one. I really don't want to go. Can we get of it? What do you think?
Can we
Get
get
away
out?
or get out? Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Get out of it. Remember, when you don't want to do something, you get out of it. You escape. Okay? You get out of it. All right? Now, if you have the book, you can check your unit 7 and see the possible phrasal verbs. Okay? So, take a look at the unit to help if you need, and try to do numbers 2 to 8. Let's review this together. Okay, let me maximize just in case you can't see very well. Is it good for you now? Yeah, can you see?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So to do this one, I'll give you 2 minutes, okay? And I'll turn off my microphone so it doesn't disturb you.
Teacher, I have to complete with words that make sense to me, or there's some word specific.
You have to complete with a preposition so that it makes sense in the sentence. Okay?
Okay.
So it's a phrasal verb. Okay, phrasal verbs using the verb get.
Okay.
There is a missing preposition, like here. Okay. To help you remember, take a look at Unit 7. Go there, and then you can see the possible prepositions to use here, so you can complete. Okay, guys, that's why I say it's nice to review, because then you can remember, because sometimes you forget. It's normal. This was Unit 7 some time ago. Okay. Okay, guys, time's up. Are you done? Can we correct? Kathleen's there. Have you finished?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. I'll give you some more time. Okay, guys, let's check. All right, let's move on. Let's see. All right, people, let's check out the answers. Let's see. There you go, guys. Check your work. See if you got everything right. Let me know. So the second one, Kathleen, can you read the second one, please?
Yes. You're so critical. You're always getting at me.
Okay, getting at. Okay, people, you're always getting at me, right? It's when somebody's always criticizing you. Number three, can you do number three again, Kathleen, please?
Okay. We finally got round to paint the kitchen at the weekend.
All right, thank you. We finally got round to painting. So when you do something that it's been like taking a while and finally do it, so that's the expression you can use, right? Oh, finally got round to doing something. All right, people. Number four, let's see a volunteer. Danilo, can you read number four? Danilo, can you read number four? No, Stare. Can you read number four?
Okay. It took Alan age to get over the failure of his business.
So it took Alan ages, so a long time to get over. Excuse me, guys. So what is the meaning of get over? Guys, what do you understand by that? Can you tell me?
It's like get out, leave, finish.
No.
No.
No, that's not the idea. What's the idea of get over?
It's like accept and aceitar. How do I say aceitar?
Accept.
Thank you. Accept that it was a failure.
Yes, to get over, guys, has the meaning of recover, okay? So let me write it down here for you. Here. Recover, accept, okay? Usually after a difficult situation, okay? When you go through something difficult, like a breakup, someone's death, okay, a loss, a big loss, or the failure of a business. So it takes some time to get over, okay, people? So the meaning of get over here has nothing to do with finish. It has to do with recover, accept, to feel better after a disease, for example, when you get sick. It takes time to get over, okay? Depending on the disease, you can get over quickly, but sometimes it's not that fast. It takes some time, okay? All right, guys, okay? So, next one. Please, Esther, can you read number 5 too? Thank you.
Yes. I hope the kids aren't getting up to anything naughty.
Thank you. So, what's the meaning of this phrasal verb? Get up to in this sentence. Get up to something. Let's put it this way.
It's like doing something that probably won't be good.
Yeah, exactly. Planning something wrong, or doing something that is incorrect. Okay, so I hope the kids aren't getting up to anything early. That's the idea. Okay, you see, it's a phrasal verb that we usually use when we want to talk about getting up early. But here, pay attention. Get up to, there is another particle, okay? So we have to pay attention because phrasal verbs are very similar, right? But they are not the same, okay? Look, number 6. I can't get through to Sue. The line's engaged. What's the idea of get through to someone? This is another one that has 2 particles. Get through to someone. What does that mean?
It's like you can get in touch with this person.
Very
You
good.
can call.
Yes, I'm referring to a communication via phone. All right. For some reason, I can't because either the line is engaged or the phone is turned off or connection is bad. Okay. Number 7. Who can read number 7 for us, please?
I can.
Go ahead, please, Catherine.
Did Nick get in touch with you about the race?
Did Nick get, thank you, Kathleen. Did Nick get in touch? All right, what's the idea with this? Look at this phrasal verb, guys. Get, actually, this is, I don't know if we can call this a phrasal verb. It's an expression, right? Actually, get in touch with, in touch with, right? How many parts? Okay. 1, 2, 3. So what's the meaning of getting in touch with someone?
Contact someone.
Yes, contact. Very good, right? When you contact somebody or someone, you get in touch with that person somehow, okay? Thank you. And the last one. Can you do that for us, please, Kathleen?
Yes. Please stop that. It's getting on my nerves.
Okay. What's the meaning of something getting on your nerves? So here you have only one particle, but it's an idiom, right? It's an expression. It's getting on my nerves.
It's annoying me.
It's annoying. All right, people. So very nice to review the meaning of these phrasal verbs and expressions. Okay, guys, here we have both situations. Okay, great. So let's take a look at the grammar of Unit 7. Let's take a look there. As you know, in Unit 7, we saw modals and related verbs. We have already done this one. I will just show you and I'll ask you to do this for homework. Okay, guys, because I know we've already done this. I know we've already done. Okay, guys, I just want to show you so you can do this for homework. I will post the link to this page on Google Classroom. All right, guys, here you can review the meaning of the modal verbs. All right, can you see that? So they are able to. So you just have to put the letters here. So it's a nice way for you to review quickly the content of each unit. All right, great. So I don't want to go deep into unit 7, 8, and 9 because we've already done a thorough review when we were studying for the stop and check of those 3 units. Okay, guys? So let's go over to unit 10. Okay, I did unit 7 just to show you that we have to go back to 7 to review for the final test. Okay, guys? So you have to go there and see the content. So let's take a look here at unit 10. This is what we have to do. What did we learn in unit 10? Expressions with modals and modal auxiliary verbs. So let's take a look at this here. First of all, guys, we saw expressions with modals in unit 10. Okay, look at the expressions. Let's say that again. I just didn't help it. But you've only just had breakfast. You have loved it. You might as well go home. I wouldn't do that if I were you. All right. Now, what we have to do here is match the sentences. Okay, so let's see. The first one, what do you think? Take a look. What do you think, guys? Somebody comes to you and says, right in the beginning, okay, you arrive at work early in the morning, and then after 2 hours, I don't know, somebody says, oh, the computer system's crashed, so you can't do any work. Does it sound
Letter
familiar?
E.
Does it sound familiar? Do you have problems with computer, guys, in your company? So what do you say? What does the person say? Not you actually, but I mean, probably your supervisor, your boss. Yes, Kathleen, can you repeat, please?
I think it's letter E.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Okay, you might as well go home. Because if you can't do any work, right? Okay. Now, guys, try to do the others. I could do with something to eat. This is a nice expression. So try to find the best complement here, okay? And then do the same for numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then be correct. I'll give you 2 minutes for that. Hey guys, do your best. Okay, guys. Yes, are you done?
Yes.
All right. So let's see what you've got. What did you do here? Number 2. I could do something to eat.
letter C.
Great, okay. Yeah, oh, but you just, or you've only just had breakfast. Number 3, that meal was expensive.
B.
Mhm. Okay, all right. I just couldn't help it. Could be, yeah, because you can say, when you say that, I just couldn't help it, means I couldn't resist something, right? So, yeah, it matches there. It matches there. When something is too good, can't resist, you can say, oh, I just couldn't help it. Okay, I couldn't resist that meal. Let's see the next one. I'm going to tell Shona to mind her own business.
F.
All right, good. I wouldn't do that if I were you. All right. Number 5. You should have come to see the film.
G.
Yes, great. You have loved it. All right, guys, and the last one.
Yeah, I think the last one is letter B and the third one is letter A.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, they are good in both situations. Because, look, I knew I shouldn't have laughed when he asked me out. I just couldn't help it. So here you can also say that you couldn't resist, you couldn't avoid laughing. It was too difficult not to laugh. So you can also use letter B here. It's good here too, okay? When you want to laugh so much and you can't hold it, you can say that. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it. Okay? So here, letter B is good here too. So this phrase matches letter number 3 and it also matches number 6. Okay? But here in number 3, I can use, you can say that again, when you agree with something that somebody said. Here, the person said, that meal was a bit expensive. Then if you agree, you can say, oh, say that again. It was really expensive, okay? So if I have something that matches as well, then, because here, this one here, letter A, doesn't match so much with number 6. Letter B is better here. Okay, guys. So let's see. Ouch. All right. How can I move here? Sorry, guys. Let me move the page up a bit. I don't understand. Let's see the answers, guys. I don't get it. I think there is a bug here. Yes, it's okay. Everything correct. Yes, there was just a bug when I pushed the score button. So everything correct, okay? Number 1, letter E. Number 2, letter C. Number 3, letter A. Number 4, F. Number 5, D. And number 6, letter B. All right, people. Okay. Any questions? Yes, I just clicked now on C answers and they confirmed. All right. So keep these expressions here in mind because they will be on your test. All right. So now let's check out the vocabulary. Oh, there's I think one more thing about the grammar here on Unit 10, which is about modal auxiliary verbs. This first part was expressions with modals, and this is about modal auxiliary verbs. So let's take a look here. Complete the sentences with a past modal and the verb in brackets. Okay, so let's see the first one, guys. It started raining. The garden. So if I need to use a past modal here, what is the best option? Let me change here. I shouldn't have watered the garden. When I say that, I'm saying that it wasn't necessary. Remember, past. So a past modal is when I make a comment about a past situation. Okay, so here I watered the garden, but I shouldn't have, or I needn't have is also possible because it started raining. Look. So I shouldn't water the garden. Okay. Now, guys, try to do the same with the other ones. Remember past modals. Okay. And in this case, I can make deductions as well. Okay, guys. So try to do this. I'll give you 3 minutes for this one, and then we have our break. Okay? Don't worry. Okay, you can start. Okay, guys, can we correct? All right, let's do it, people. So the second one, what do you have there? Look, in this one, I don't believe Michael went to London, okay? Look, his car is still outside. So this is a situation in which I don't believe he traveled to London or he went to London. So how do I express this?
Michael couldn't go went.
We can use can't. It's okay. I can use the modal verb can't, but I have to add the auxiliary verb have to place the modal verb in the past. Okay, so Michael can't have. Now I put the main verb in the past participle. Okay, so past modals, they have three parts. I use the modal verb plus auxiliary have plus the verb in the past participle. So Michael can't have gone to London. His car is still outside. So when I don't believe something happened, preferably we use can't have, okay? And then a verb in the past participle. All right, Michael can't have gone to London. His car is still outside. Now number 3. I didn't mind you finishing the cake, but you, now here,
I mean, I don't know. It's
yes.
may must.
Here you are kind of criticizing a person's behavior, aren't you? You are upset because kind of, right? The person did something that you believe was not so good because you believe the person should ask you first and the person didn't. Okay, so the situation happened in the past. The person didn't ask you first. Okay, you didn't mind the person finishing the cake, but you wanted the person to ask you first. So in this case, should is better, okay? So you should, auxiliary verb, have, and then past participle. Because this is what you expected the person to do. You wanted the person to do this. Actually, this is what you wanted, but this is not what happened. The person didn't ask, but the person should have asked. Okay, so I don't mind you finishing the cake, but you should have asked first. All right. Okay. It sounds like a little scolding, like a little, you know. Number 4, Sal is looking very happy. So what is the deduction? Using the verb get, the promotion she wanted.
She must have gotten.
Perfect. Excellent. This is a logical deduction. When I make a logical deduction of something that happened in the past, I have evidence of something that happened in the past. Oh, I say she must or he must with have plus past participle. Oh, look, she must have gotten the promotion she wanted. She's looking so happy. What else? Okay. Number 5. You're crazy to have skied down the black base. You a leg. Did you break a leg? No.
You
But-
might have broken.
Ah, very good. You might have broken, you could have broken. Here, I'm using a probability modal verb, okay? You might have broken, you could have broken. In this case, I can use could or might, okay? Probability. Sorry. Modal verb, auxiliary have, and past participle. You could have broken a leg. You're crazy. Number 6. Andy, our secret. Now everyone will know. Sorry.
You mustn't have. How is the past of self?
Past participle.
Yes.
Told.
Told. You mustn't have told.
Okay. You mustn't have told. It's possible. But here you can also say you shouldn't.
Yes.
You shouldn't have told, okay? Because here it's the same situation as number 3, okay? I'm criticizing a person's behavior in the past. The person did something that I do not approve. So I can say, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. So you shouldn't have told. Okay? You shouldn't have told Andy our secret. Okay? I don't know what happens when I click on the score. They say 4 out of 6. I don't get this because they don't. Why? This is not wrong. She must have gotten the promotion. Yes, this is logical deduction. Okay, let's see the answers. Okay. Okay, here the first one, they are using needed, the example that I also gave, because here you can say I shouldn't have word or I needn't have word. Okay, guys, both are correct, no problem. You can say that I shouldn't have watered the garden because you worry about the plants. You know that now they would be overwatered. So you can say that I shouldn't have watered the garden. Look, it started raining, they would be super wet. So I shouldn't have watered. So both are correct, okay, people? And here, she must have got the promotion. I can also say she must have gotten the promotion because got can also be gotten, okay? This verb here has two past participle forms, all right? So everything's correct. Okay, okay. So no problem. The other ones are all right, okay? So always remember, you have to use, when I talk about situations in the past, okay, that I wish had been different, I use the modal verb, the auxiliary verb have, and the main verb in the past participle. Okay? All right. So this was unit 10 grammar. So it's 12 o'clock, actually 12:04. Let's have a short break because I want to do unit 11 and 12. Instead of doing the vocabulary, I'll ask you to do the vocabulary at home for the units, okay, 10, 11, and 12. And I will focus on the grammar, okay? And let's have a break of 12:05. Let's have, let's say, 5 minutes so we don't stay away for too long because I really need to do those 2 units with you guys. So let's come back at 12:10. Yes, is it good for you? 12:10. What do you think?
Yeah, it's okay.
Is it okay, guys? All right, so let's do it until 12:10. All right, so see you back in 5. All right, let's do this. Okay, guys. So let's move on to the next unit. Okay, we are done with unit 10. So let's move on to unit 11. Unit 10, as we saw, talked about modal verbs. Okay, so let's go back to the menu here and see about unit 11. What was the topic? Can you see that? Yes. So unit 11 was about hypothesizing. So we have 2 exercises there talking about hypothesis. So we have words like wish, if only, expressions like that. But let's review that quickly. The first one goes, afterwards, she wished she, Lorenzo, her phone number. Here, we need to notice that wished is in the simple past. So we need to backshift the verb. So what is the best option? Didn't give or hadn't given?
Hadn't given.
Yeah, it's the best one because wished is in the past. So then the following verb has to backshift, and the verb backshifting here is the past perfect. Simple past, past perfect. Okay. Number 2, they tried to re-roof their house without professional help. Yes, this one here is something that we saw in unit 10.
Shouldn't have.
Yes, like we saw there. It's something they feel sorry now because something didn't work out. So now they regret. So they shouldn't have tried. Okay. The modal verb, auxiliary have, and past participle. Okay. It's an idea of hypothesizing. I'm hypothesizing because now it's over. It happened. Now we just feel sorry. Okay. Number 3. If only we could have picked you up from the station.
We knew.
Yes. Okay, here, look at the second part. We could have picked you up from the station. So we are talking about a situation that happened in the past. So did we pick you up from the station?
No.
No, we didn't. And we didn't pick you up because we didn't know. Did we know?
No.
No, we didn't. So if only we knew, we could have picked you up from the station. Okay. Using the first one here would be extremely formal. If only we had known. That could be okay too, if we want to give a super formal tone. Because the situation happened in the past. And in a situation like that, I would say that, okay, you came by bus, let's suppose, okay? And we didn't know you came by bus. So if we had known you arrived, if we had known that you arrived, we could have picked you up from the station. So here, if we want to be formal, if we want to be formal, the first one is the correct option. Okay, Kathleen?
Okay.
All right, because here they are conjugating the third conditional. Okay, the third conditional, we use if plus had plus past participle, and the second part we use would plus could have plus past participle. Okay, so let's choose this one because the exercise is usually more traditional. Okay, if only we'd known, we could have picked you up from the station. Okay. But in a less formal way, in a more colloquial way, native speakers usually prefer to use the simple past. Okay. They use what we call mixed conditionals. Okay. Let's go. Number 4. I know Maria wishes she here today. So look, wishes is in the simple present. Okay. So simple present, I just have to backshift. Which verb should I use here? In informal English, I would just put simple past. I wouldn't put any of these.
You would
I would
you was.
I would put she were. As a
Were.
native,
I
yeah,
think
as a native
think.
speaker, yeah, as a native speaker, sorry, Danilo. As a native speaker, I would put were. I know Maria wishes she were here today. This is what a native speaker would say. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because wishes is in the simple present. So when I use wish in the simple present, I use the second verb in the simple past. Okay? I say like this, oh, I wish you were here. And here, when I conjugate the verb to be using wish or if only, all the pronouns take were, not was. Okay, this is another detail. Of course, guys, it's not wrong to say, I know Maria wishes she was here today instead of were. Okay, but it's more common to say were. All right, people. It's more common to say were than was because of the verb wish, okay? The same thing happens when I use if. I can say, if I were you, or if, let's say, if she were here, comma, I would be happier, suppose. If she were here, instead of saying if she was, if I put if she was here, it's okay. It's not wrong. But if she were here, it's more common. Okay. I can also say if I were you, okay. If I were you, sorry guys. I don't know, I'll go to England. If I were you, I'd go to England, okay? So this is how we use. So in this sentence here, a native speaker would put, I know Maria wishes she were here today. Okay, now let's see the options we have. We have.
I think it could have been.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, people, here, because the book is more traditional. So of course, guys, they will never use the present here. This is impossible. So here could have been, okay? This is the best option. So I know Maria wishes she could have been here today. Okay. Now let's see number 5. Sometimes she wished, now here, simple past. Wish in the past. She wished he remember, wouldn't have sent. Yes, I have to back shift. Okay. In this case, because wished is in the past. So I'm talking about a situation from the past. And he feels sorry about it. So sometimes she wished he wouldn't have sent her flowers at work. Okay. And then number 6, if only we stuck in this dreadful traffic. That's easy.
Weren't.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. We use the simple past to talk about a present wish. Okay. Again, we use the simple past to talk about a present wish. Okay, like this. Oh, if only we weren't stuck in this dreadful traffic. Right? So let me clear my annotations. Now let's see what the book thinks. 5 out of 6. Okay. Okay, perfect. So here they are considering that this is a habit. That's why they are saying that the best option is the first one. So sometimes, look at this, we forgot to notice here. Sometimes we focused on the verb in the simple past. She wished he wouldn't have sent her flowers at work. This was our focus. We focused on wished in the simple past, and then we put the corresponding verb. But here, look at the word. We didn't see that. Sometimes, which is okay. I could also have in colloquial conversation, we could say that, oh, now talking about the situation, sometimes she wished he would have sent her flowers at work, and talking about a special moment when he sent her flowers at work and something happened. But here, the situation is like a habit. He always sends her flowers at work. That's the idea because of the word sometimes. I also didn't notice this word. Okay, guys. So here, because of the word sometimes, she's talking here about a habit that he has. So here, instead of using sometimes she wished, she should have said sometimes she wishes. That's the best option here. Sometimes she wishes, because this is the best way to say, because this is a habit, right? So sometimes she wishes he wouldn't send her flowers at work. That would be okay. All right. Then it would be a typical complaint situation. We would do all right because I would be okay. Perfect. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't send me flowers at work. I don't like this. Okay, people. But what was the trick? Was the word sometimes, and they put sometimes together with a verb wish in the past. Okay, so be careful when you have the verb wish in the past with an adverb of frequency. Okay.
Oh, it's because she is talking about the past and the future in the present.
Yeah, she's talking about a habit he has. Actually, it's a habit in the present, but she's using in the sentence the verb wish in the past. So this verb here should be in the present, not in the past. Okay, this was the problem. Okay, when we talk about a habit that we don't like, that we want to change, or want something that we want to be different, We use if only, I wish, okay? Like here, for example, if only we weren't stuck in this dreadful traffic. So this is something that we want to be different now, okay? When I want something to be different in the present, we use if only plus simple past. Or when I want to complain about a habit, I use would or wouldn't and infinitive. But in this case, they put a verb, wished, in the simple past. So here, look at number 1. Afterwards, she wished she hadn't given Lorenzo her phone number. So when I use wished in the simple past, we are usually talking about a situation that happened in the past, not in the present, okay? That's why I am making this observation here. So she wished she hadn't given, but she gave Lorenzo her phone number. But now she feels sorry. Now it's too late. Now it's too late. Here, the situation is still happening. He always, or he sometimes sends her flowers, and she's not happy with this. So she is complaining. So she wishes, sometimes she wishes he wouldn't send her flowers at work. So that would be better. Not sometimes she wished. Okay, in Portuguese, we can say that, okay? We can be flexible and say that, okay? Wished. But that was something tricky. So in your test, if you find the verb wished like this in the past, pay attention and see if there is an adverb of frequency, okay? So you know what you have to put. All right, guys, because here they are talking about a habit in the present, okay? All right. The best way to express this is to use wish in the present. So you can talk about a present habit that you want to be different, something that you don't like, okay? All right, so let's clear this. Okie dokie. So now moving on, let's go on to the second part here. Let's go here. Unit 11. Hypothesizing number 2. Let's go there. Okay, people, look. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in brackets. So we have there. We have sentences with if, it's time, remember? If you, I'd rather you, if only, supposing, okay? So here it's typical second conditional. Look, would we get a refund? So would plus infinitive. This is the second conditional. So if plus simple past. Okay, guys, when I see that I have would plus infinitive, I'm talking about the second conditional. It's a hypothesis. If we had to cancel, would we get a refund? Okay. Simple past. All right. Just imagining. Okay, let's imagine. Oh, if we had to cancel, would we get a refund? All right. Now, number 2, guys, you do this one. Come on, tell me. What verb tense do I use after expressions like these? It's time.
Oh, make,
Sorry, can you
Make.
repeat, please?
make,
Present.
Maybe.
Sorry, can
Maybe.
you
Yeah.
Maybe.
sorry, can you repeat, please, Kathleen?
May.
Simple past?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So when I use expressions like this, it's time, it's high time. So I use the simple past, okay? It's time you made your mind up about a career. Okay, very good. Now, another conditional. If, then would never have happened. So you notice the difference, guys. Look, here we have would plus infinitive. Here we have would plus auxiliary, have plus past participle. So this one is the third conditional.
yeah.
This is the second. This is the third.
I think it is if you had interfered,
Uh-huh.
this would never have happened.
Okay. All right. So if you had interfered, this would never have happened. And in this sentence, because we don't have a context, we can use affirmative or negative, okay? If you hadn't interfered, this would never have happened, but we don't have a context. So let's put affirmative. If you had interfered, this would never have happened. Third conditional, I use if plus auxiliary verb had plus past participle. Okay. The second part, would or could. I can also use might plus have plus past participle. Now, number 4. If you don't mind, I'd rather you
Didn't come in.
okay, can be negative or affirmative, but let's put negative, and it has to be simple past. After I'd rather, I use simple past, okay? So I'd rather you didn't come in. As you know, guys, sorry, in the simple past, the verb stays in the base form, okay? Only the auxiliary goes to the past. So I'd rather you didn't come in. Number 5, supposing someone that you'd been lying, what would you do?
It was going to be like in the present, like supposing someone finds out.
Yes, here it's a mixed conditional because here you have past, perfect, continuous, okay? That you had been lying. So suppose someone finds out that you had been lying. What would you do? So what would you do? This one here, you have what would you do is the second part of the second conditional. What would you do if you won the lottery? Remember this question. What would you do if you found a wallet full of money? What would you do if you became rich? What would you do? And then many compliments. So all the time we complete this question here, what would you do? The second part, the if clause, is always in the simple past, okay? What would you do if you moved to another country? What would you do if you decided to leave Rio? What would you do? Okay, so if we conjugate the second conditional, here I have to use the simple past. Okay,
Yes,
supposing
found out.
found out, yes, because you are creating a hypothesis. So supposing someone found out that you'd been lying, what would you do? So let's believe that we are kind of completing this last sentence here. What would you do if someone found out that you'd been lying? Okay, that's okay. This final part here is just a compliment, it's just something extra. But the question here is, what would you do if someone found out, okay? So the best option is the simple past. Okay, guys, because of this. What would you do? Okay, now number 6. If only we, in this tiny apartment. So here, are we happy? Are we happy that we live in this tiny apartment?
No.
No. So this is something about the present. Okay? So I'm complaining about a present situation. So here, when I use that, if only or wish, which verb tense should I use?
Simple past.
Very good. So here, is it affirmative or negative?
Negative.
Perfect. That's it. If only we didn't live in this tiny apartment. Okay, guys. Now let's see the score. Oh my goodness. There is always a mistake. Well, let's see. Ah, look, if you had interfered, this would never have happened. Why? Is it negative? Let's see. Yeah, it's negative. Okay, people. How would I know that this is negative? Who can tell that this sentence is negative? Okay, guys, can you tell? I can't. If you hadn't interfered, this would never have happened. So the person is a jerk. The person is always doing something wrong. You see, guys, this material is,
Yeah, I think like you interfere in something like you can't interfere in how can I say relacionamento of some.
yeah, but sometimes it's not a
Can be.
relationship. Sometimes it's it's something that you you avoid an accident and you interfered, you know? So, you
Yeah,
know,
normally you have to interfere, but
yeah, of course. So it's not, I mean, how can you tell that this is something negative? Here, they're taking interfere as something negative, period, you know? And not always. So anyway, guys, it can be affirmative or negative, okay? It depends on the case, it depends on the context. We don't have a context, all right, people? There is no context here. They should put a story, they should put a context, okay? Anyway, our verb tense is correct, okay? We put the correct verb tense, past perfect, okay? All right, guys. So let's take a look now at the grammar from unit 12, the last unit. And I will ask you to do the vocabulary from those 3 units, okay? So you can review that. So unit 12, guys, is about articles and determiners. Yay, very tricky. So let's take a look. Choose the correct answer. Let's see. There are 2 buses to London. You can take what do you think?
Either.
Very good. And I like the pronunciation. British, either. Okay, you can say that in the British way, or you can say that in American way, either. Both are correct, okay? Number 2, so either or either I use when I have 2 options, okay? Number 2 is lived at a much slower pace in Ireland. Come on, what do you think, guys? The life or life? Da-da-da-da. What do you think?
I think it's life.
Yeah, me too. We are talking about life in general, so no article. Okay, guys, when we are talking about things in general, then we don't use an article, okay? Life is lived at a much slower pace in Ireland. Number 3, students feel nervous before exams. What do you think?
Oh,
Yeah, all students feel nervous. Okay, that's the best one. We use that as a modifier to a noun when I want to mean the total amount, okay? The total quantity, all students. Number Number 4, I'm just going to
The supermarket.
okay, the supermarket. We usually use the when I have a specific place that I go to, okay? Like the bank, the supermarket, okay? The beach. Number 5, a pop star is not always an easy one.
I think it's the life.
Very good. Here, I'm specific. I'm not talking about life in general. I'm talking about the life of a pop star. Okay, so here you have preposition of to specify the kind of life I'm talking about. Okay, number 6, my family have been to Australia.
Neither is someone's like
No.
this.
What's the meaning of neither? Who knows?
Neither. It's like both, but in the negative.
Yes, very good. Okay, Danilo.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, so it's none of.
Yes. All right. Like nobody in my family has been to Australia. And here, when I use none of, and I'm talking about a group of people, I can use the verb in the plural form. So none of my family have been to Australia. Okay. Now let's check the answers. Yay, finally. 6 out of 6. Okay, everything correct. All right, people. Let's do just one more. Determiners, the last one. Okay, guys, match the determiners with a similar meaning. So let's do this together. We have here enough, few, most, each, none, several. So when I say enough, we have enough seats in the classroom. We have enough seats. Letter
Yes,
C.
sufficient.
Yes, sufficient. Sufficient pronunciation, okay? Sufficient. Number 2, few.
Hardly any.
See if, yeah, hardly any, okay. Yeah, we have none, not any, okay. So few, hardly any, okay. So we can say that, for example, she has few friends. She has few friends, okay. So she has hardly any friends. Most students passed the final exams.
Nearly all.
Nearly all.
Yes, nearly all.
Nearly all. Most students, nearly all. Each student has to present a project. Each student has to present a project?
Everyone?
Yes, great. None. None of the students got below 7. None of the students got below 7.
Not any.
All right, very good. Several students speak English well. Several students speak English well.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Okay, letter D. Right. So let's see the score. Yay. Everything correct. All right, guys. So when I say the word several, I'm being very positive, right? And when I use just few, I'm being negative. Okay. So take notes, do the exercises on the eye checker. If you have the material, if you have access to the platform, do the eye checker of the units, okay? Those exercises help a lot. So you can review the topics. And here you have also the vocabulary. All right, you can do the vocabulary from the units. It's a nice way to review as well. Okay, guys. So back to our page on Google Classroom, right on time. Here, I posted the topics from each unit so you can contemplate, you can think about what to present, what you want to talk about. Remember, whatever you present, whichever unit you choose, you should put examples from that unit in your presentation, okay? The most important thing is that we hear you using examples from the unit, all right?
Teacher,
What we want to hear you saying or making sentences using the vocabulary and the grammar from that unit that you chose. Yes, Danilo.
when will be the project?
So let me tell you the dates, okay? I will tell you the dates now. All right. So here we go. Our test is next week, August 28th. The project will be on September 11th. So because we have the skills test first. So we have the progress test next week. Then on September 4th, we have the skills test. And on September 11th, we have the project. Okay. So save the date. I will post the dates on our page on Google Class, here on Google Classroom, and also on our page on WhatsApp. Okay. I will
Okay.
post both here and on WhatsApp. Don't worry.
And more one ask, the C1.
Yes.
Will be, I want to do, it will be,
great.
it will be in the Saturday too?
Okay, so very good question. I talked to you about C1 in the beginning of the class today. Our coordination said that C1 will be on a different day, maybe a different time. I don't know if it will be in the morning, but it will not be on Saturday, 10:30, okay? This is what I was told. For some reason, it will be different. I don't know. It will not be on the same day and not at the same time, okay? So if you want to do C1, Headway 5, you need to check with the coordination. I think you have the contact on WhatsApp, okay? Achieve Pedagógico. So you can try to see there with them the day of Headway 5 or C1, the possible days, right, people? What I know now is that it will not be on Saturday, 10:30. Okay. All right, guys. So whoever wants to do C1, you should let the coordination know about it because they are already forming a group of C1 because they have other groups as well, other students from other teachers who are going to do it. So you should express your wish, okay, to join the group. All right, guys. Okay. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure to be your teacher. It was really amazing. You were great students. Let me tell you something about missing tasks. If you are missing any test, get in touch with me during the week. Send me a message so we can schedule the tests you are missing, because you can't be missing a test and try to get your certificate. Okay, guys? So get in touch with me. All right, people.
Teacher,
Yes, there.
how do I know if I'm missing some tests? I don't know. I have no sure if I'm missing something.
Okay, send me a message, okay? And then I'll tell
Okay.
you. I have another class now after yours, and then we can talk after that. I will send you a message if you are missing any test, okay?
Okay.
All right, people, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Thank you, Danilo. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Carlos. Very good. Thank you, Iago. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Bazani. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Esther, once again, participation. Oh, okay, Nathan, don't worry. I will let you know, okay? I will see the test grid with all the grades and everything, and I'll let you know if you're missing any test. All right, people. Bye-bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye-bye, guys. Take care. See you. So prepare for the progress test on Saturday, okay? Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. See you.